Welcome back everyone, thanks for joining me. In this video we are talking about all of the available upgrade parts for the Nano CP S from Rakonheli. This helicopter right here has basically every possible upgrade part on it, and you can buy those parts individually or you can get a couple of different packages. There's the standard upgrade kit and the advanced upgrade kit, and I will talk about the differences between those two in just a bit. As usual, all these aluminum parts come in different colors. The main blades and also the tail rotor come in different colors, and then you have a choice of different canopies. And of course, you know, when you upgrade a helicopter like this with every possible upgrade, or an RC car, you end up spending more on the upgrade parts than on the original vehicle. That's the case here. That's just the way it is with RC. So the question is sort of why do it? For me, half of it is just the process of building it, taking apart the original helicopter, and then building the new helicopter. You really get to see how the helicopter works. It's a lot of fun to do it. So half of it for me is just the journey of that. And then of course you end up with a really nice helicopter which does fly better, and I'll talk about that as well. And of course we will fly the helicopter. The only thing original on this helicopter is the board, the servos, the main motor, the tail motor, and some of these linkages here. Everything else is an upgrade part. And you know, don't be intimidated by doing this if you haven't taken a helicopter apart before, or you know, worked with one or rebuilt one. It's totally doable. This is not difficult to do at all. In fact, the only thing you need is a Phillips head screwdriver, and you know, having some pliers can sort of help along the way as well. Rakonheli sells a couple of different tools that help. This is the spindle tool set for taking apart the spindle on the rotor head, and then you have a swash plate leveler which you can also use. So here is the helicopter. Now one thing I will tell you guys, if you haven't built a helicopter or you're doing this the first time, before you start assembling it, take some pictures of your stock helicopter, take some pictures of the board and where all the connectors go, so you don't put it all together and then realize you don't know where things go. And also take a picture of the rotor head, things like that, just so you have a reference. Everything goes together the same way as on the stock helicopter, other than this anti-rotation guide is on the back rather than on the side, but everything else goes together the same exact way. So on the top you have the main center hub, and then you have your main blade grips, you have the swash plate, you have a carbon fiber main shaft with the aluminum collar, and then you have a Delrin main gear down here with an aluminum hub. So all those parts are all from Rakonheli, and then of course you have the carbon fiber and aluminum landing gear here. And then this tail boom on this helicopter is an aftermarket one from Rakon. Here's a stock one. You can see the stock one is actually smaller. And then you have the aluminum motor mount and the carbon fiber tail skid. So let me just tell you what the difference is between the advanced upgrade kit and the standard upgrade kit. And it basically has to do with the tail boom and the tail motor. On the standard upgrade kit, you use the stock tail boom. And by doing that, you can just remove the whole tail boom with the motor and the motor leads intact. You don't have to take the leads out of the tail boom. And then you just will fit your aluminum motor mount on and your carbon fiber tail skid on. So that's very simple to do. If you want to do the other tail boom, the larger tail boom, which comes with the advanced upgrade kit, you do need to remove the motor and the wires from the original stock tail boom. And for doing that, you do need to desolder the wire connectors on the motor, remove the wires, and then put them through the new tail boom and resolder them back together. So there's a little soldering to do with that. Some people don't want to do that. So if that's the case, go with the standard upgrade kit. If you don't mind soldering it and you want to have the larger tail boom, go with the advanced upgrade kit. But once you have those wires in place, they just come out of the tail boom right here. I wrap them around the canopy mount, and then they go and connect up to the board. If you do the advanced upgrade kit with the larger tail boom and you desolder and resolder the motor wires, just be careful doing it. These wires are actually very delicate. They're very fragile. They're very easy to desolder and to solder because they're so small, but you want to be careful just handling them in general because they are somewhat fragile. So you're not completely in the dark with doing these upgrades. Rakonheli gives you some nice diagrams which show exactly where everything goes in a very simple way. So very easy to follow these along. And if you take some pictures of your main board where the wire connectors go into place, you'll be all set and you won't have any trouble putting these together. If you don't want to do any soldering, go for the standard upgrade kit. So you'll just be using the stock tail boom. And if you don't mind doing some soldering and you want the larger tail boom, go with the advanced upgrade kit. And if you do go with the standard upgrade kit and you decide later that you want to do the larger tail boom, you can order that tail section as a separate option part under the advanced upgrade kit section. So just go in there and you can actually find where you can just get the tail part if you do eventually decide that you want to do that. So let's talk about how this helicopter flies compared to the stock helicopter. And of course, keeping in mind that that is purely subjective. It's just my opinion. Anytime someone talks about how something flies or drives, it's just their own opinion. And also keeping in mind there's a risk of placebo effect. In other words, you do a whole bunch of upgrades on something, a bunch of new parts, and so when you go out and fly it, you're thinking, this should fly better because of all the upgrades I did. And you fly and you think, yes, it does fly better. So there's also the risk of that. Okay, all of that said, this helicopter weighs 31 grams without the battery. This helicopter weighs 26 grams without the battery. So slightly heavier here, only 5 grams, but that's not really insignificant as far as weight percentage goes. Do I really notice that when it flies? It's hard to say. Maybe slightly. This one maybe has a bit better punch out than the upgraded helicopter. Kind of difficult to say. They both go about 4 minutes on the single cell 150 milliamp pack. The difference is really in how this one sounds and how it tracks. It tracks to me better than this helicopter. Now the stock helicopter flies well. I have a video of that flying. It tracks well, it's smooth. It's easy to fly, but it still kind of feels like a small helicopter. It kind of has that darty feel to it, that kind of little bit of a twitchy feel to it, like it's just a tiny helicopter. This one has a smoother feel, it tracks better. I feel more confident flying it around the sky, forwards, backwards, just feels smoother. And the best way I can say it feels like it's a bigger helicopter. It feels like you're flying a 130X or a larger helicopter like that, and just more confidence with it. So that's the main difference. I prefer the way this one flies over the stock helicopter. Someone else may say the opposite, but that's just opinion. I do think it does fly better. It definitely sounds better, and it definitely is a better looking helicopter overall with the upgrade parts. Well, there's a look at the upgrade parts for the Nano CP S from Rakonheli. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Any questions or comments, please post below. I'll try to answer the best I can as always. And I will see you flying next time.